Alright guys, so I want to make another video about something that's been on my mind. The FCC federal regulation, the Net Neutrality Act, was passed recently. Currently, companies like AT&T and Verizon they give quick internet service to their clients, the ones who decide to pay more. And the FCC federal regulation, the Net Neutrality Act, suppresses that. It stops them from doing that. And a lot of media outlets, a lot of socialist media outlets, a lot of socialist politicians and people say this is a good idea for the cable, internet, and television industry. It's going to make it more fair, more equal, and but it actually doesn't. And here's why. They're missing the third factor. And the third factor is the state of the internet, cable, and television industry already. Comcast has so much power in the industry already. They're the number one company in the industry. A few months ago, Comcast was number one, Time Warner was number two. Comcast bought out Time Warner, forming this conglomerate of a corporation in the internet, television, and cable industry. All right. Comcast, if you read their website, they love the Net Neutrality Act. They say that they have always obeyed the Net Neutrality Act, even before it was implemented, meaning they didn't provide their clients quick service. AT&T and Verizon provided quicker service to their customers, and the FCC Net Neutrality Act suppresses AT&T and Verizon, companies like that. It suppresses them from. It suppresses what they had going for them in the industry, creating an even bigger advantage for Comcast in the industry. Okay, so the FCC's Net Neutrality Act benefits Comcast by suppressing the other companies in the industry, giving Comcast an even greater power, if you will, in that industry. Now, why would President Obama support Comcast? Comcast CEO is a guy by the name of Brian Roberts. Brian Roberts has donated over $76,000 to Democrats since 2007. He has golfed with President Obama. He's served on boards President Obama has created. He's visited the White House many times. Comcast has the biggest lobbying team in Washington, D.C. history. They pay lawyers to go to Washington to convince politicians or pay politicians to vote and create laws that benefit them. Okay, the head of Comcast's lobbying team is a guy by the name of David Cohen. David Cohen has helped raise $2.2 million for President Obama's presidential campaigns. Okay, so now President Obama is scratching Comcast's back. Okay. He's allowing, our president is allowing businesses to manipulate the people's industries, the people's markets to benefit them. That's crony capitalism. That's socialism. It's wicked. Okay, it's wicked. Washington is just a breeding ground for corruption today. Politicians allow big businesses and outside sources to use it to manipulate the people's markets and industries to benefit them. And if we can dissect every major industry in the United States, and everyone probably has been manipulated to benefit a few people, but that's not. I want to stay on course here. So, President Obama has allowed Comcast to use the system to get ahead. So we need to do two things. First, we need to get rid of lobbyism. Lobbyists pay politicians to vote a certain way. It's legalized bribery. Okay, it's a bad idea. Okay, it's wrong. We need to end lobbyism. Politicians get paid by lobbyists to create certain laws that benefit the lobbyist group. It's wrong. We shouldn't allow that. What if we allowed lobbyism in professional sports? What if we allowed lobbyism in the NFL? What if we allowed outside sources to pay referees to referee a certain way? What would happen? The entire thing would be fixed. The highest bidder's favorite team would win the Super Bowl and wouldn't be fun anymore. So it is with Washington. Washington's fixed. Okay, so that's number one. We need to get rid of lobbyism. And number two, we need politicians in office who have a backbone, who aren't going to allow outside sources to manipulate the people's industries, the people's markets to benefit a few people. You can even take that a little bit further and say we need politicians who aren't going to allow outside sources, other people, to take away the people's rights. The FCC's Net Neutrality Act helps Comcast get even more power in the internet, cable, and television industry by suppressing the competition. This was all planned. This was all by design. Okay, so those are the things we need to do, and now you have the truth on the Net Neutrality Act.